started this group because my daughter, I don't know if I told you this, Crissy. First of all, this is Crissy. And,
Hi.
and she's my newest coach, and she's going to specialize with gymnasts. First of all, maybe Crissy, why don't you, before I get in my own stuff in the why don't you just introduce yourself? Tell them how we met, and tell a little bit about you.
Okay. So I'm Crissy. I live in Long Island, New York. And so I was introduced to Stacy through my daughter's gymnastics gym. One of my friends had her daughter doing sessions with her, and she had a block. And I had been talking to her, and I said, at the time, my son, Daniel, who's a baseball player, had a block because he was hit in the face by a baseball at bat, and he couldn't move out of his own way, so to speak. He couldn't reconnect his mind and his body to be able to get back to where his hitting average was, his batting average. So Daniel, my son, did a few sessions with Stacy, and me and my husband sat in on the sessions and saw how she worked and saw what she did, and we were really great cheerleaders and proponents of her business and what she's doing. And Daniel now is hitting like 425 batting average. It's unbelievable how amazing he's doing now, just from getting all the tips and everything that he did, and the coaching and the strategies from Stacy. I also have another son who's in baseball, and a daughter who's just starting to compete. She's level 2 and she's 6. And she's starting to get into the world a little bit of gymnastics, and she's loving it. And I was also a former gymnast and who went through mental blocks. But of course, we didn't have somebody like Stacy to help us through these strategies, to work through it and figure out how to deal with our mental blocks. So I really wish we did. But now I want to be somebody to help girls like me when I was a young gymnast.
Well, and Crissy, you're so right, and it was fun to work with your family because, like you said, you and Dan were in the sessions with Daniel.
Yep.
And, you got to experience how I can help navigate parents being in their kids' A circle.
Mm-hmm.
And how sometimes it can be helpful for parents to be in their kids' A circle and sometimes not.
Right.
And Daniel and Dan have a really close relationship. And it was, so you got to see kind of firsthand, and your husband did too, with how to help himself and how to help your son. And it was a great experience for you to see that side of it, and then to come in as a practitioner and to experience all the stuff that you've been training to do to work with gymnasts. I have to tell you, gymnasts are kind of my babies. They're very special to me. And the reason I started this group is because my daughter was about 12 or 13, and she came home and she's like, "Mom, you fixed mental blocks, and all my friends are leaving the sport because of a mental block."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I better pull on my big girl pants and do something about it."
Yeah.
And I hired Clients on Demand. I love Clients on Demand. They trained me how to hone in on what problem I solve.
Okay.
They taught me how to figure out what problem I solve and the people that want that problem solved.
Right.
And that's how this group got born. And these people on this group are very special to me because they've been with me for a long time. There's 14,000 people on this group now.
It's unbelievable.
And I'm still going to be coaching you guys with all my gymnasts. I was just telling Crissy, I think I had 10 sessions today, and they were all gymnasts. So we're all in with gymnasts, but I also want to bring in some support from moms. And so what we're going to do is we're going to post Crissy's group on the bottom of this live. And I think it's on another couple of posts too, but I want you to join her group. And we're going to do a mom's, dads can come too, but we're going to do a Zoom free call in a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. And we're going to, special for moms of gymnasts, because we all know how difficult it can be to navigate the sport. I mean, in every sport, I don't mean to, not include all these other sports,
Right.
but gymnasts, obviously my daughter's a Division I gymnast, and I understand how these things work and the coaching and the difficulty that these kids have mentally. But we just want to support the moms on the mental side, the athletes on the mental side, because at the end of the day, this sport can be very, very challenging. And I think you mentioned, Crissy, you had, did you get some mental blocks as a gymnast?
I did. Yep.
So what happened?
Beam was a big mental block for me. Yeah. Back handsprings, things like that on beam.
So I was a high school gymnast. I don't know if people know that. Livy was about 9 and said, "Mom, when were you in the Olympics?" And I wanted to lie and tell her like 1984, but my mom was there and I couldn't lie to her. So I said, "Livy, I wasn't in the Olympics." So she was so disappointed. But and I remember when I was in high school, I did a back handspring on the beam and split the beam and said, "No, I'm never that."
Right.
My series became a one arm front walkover and a front walkover.
Right.
Because the back handspring, I was like, no.
Me too.
I wish I would have known these strategies and tools back then too, because you're absolutely right. Wouldn't they have been helpful?
100%. Yeah, definitely.
Like a learning strategy to focus on what I'm doing.
Yep.
An A circle to kick out some of these things and distractions that, obviously are in people's A circle.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited. Yeah, Alex is saying, well, beam is scary. Beam is scary.
Beam is scary.
I was talking to a mom the other day, and she's like, beam makes us all crazy. I'm like, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
All of us moms, there's so many stories I've heard, like moms can't watch beam. They have to
well, that's what even as a mom, that's what I was going to say. Even as a mom, it's still scary for me to watch beam.
Yeah. And it doesn't really get easier. My daughter this weekend, I went to see her in Utah, and she was third on beam. And this is only her third week with Utah State because she didn't go there until 2 days after Christmas. And so it's her second meet, and the first 2 girls fell. And she's looking at me. And I was with a friend of mine from high school who was a high school gymnast with me. And I'm like, why is she looking at me? And I just literally, Crissy, I just went, go back inside, kick everything else out.
Yep.
I mean, she couldn't hear me, but I just went, go back inside, kick everything else out. And she did her job. She stayed on the beam. It wasn't perfect, but you don't have to be perfect to be successful.
Right.
And she did what she needed to do. So we're still, I still with my daughter, even as a senior in college, a Division I, she's still using these strategies one day at a time. And that's what I love about them.
Mm-hmm.
What got you interested? What do you like about the strategies for you?
I feel like I could so relate to the learning strategy. Mm-hmm. I feel like if I knew the learning strategy as a young gymnast, like you said, I would have been able to work past my mental blocks, especially on beam or any other event that I ended up having mental blocks after even just the one beam. Then it moved to floor and to vault and to bars, and it just got the best of me. But if I knew then what I know now, it would have been a no-brainer. I would have just been able to do it.
Yeah. And I want to, attribute to your family and your son. He's only what, 10?
He's 10. Mm-hmm.
And he's a baseball player, and he really dug his heels in. And, when you get hit at an early age like that, that can affect them forever.
Right.
And just been able to what have you seen for your son with the strategies? What over time have you noticed anything over time for him that you didn't expect?
So when he first started having the mental blocks, we as parents were so frustrated. We had been putting all this time and effort doing private lessons and everything else with him. And we were like, you know what? If you can't just swing the bat and figure it out, or as they say, just do it, then you're done with baseball. Let's move on. You're still young. Let's do something else. And, you know, him learning the strategies, he really even taught me A circle, and was teaching Danny then in turn A circle and the learning strategies and everything else. And he was saying, well, you can't be in my A circle. You know, I'm in my A circle, you know, so he was regurgitating everything to us, which, you know.
Yeah, that they do that, because the parents will say to me, I don't know if she's getting it.
Right. That's what it was. We weren't sure, but then he was telling us in his own way, all of your strategies.
I know it, because they totally get it, but the parents have been like, I don't know if they're, you know, getting it. People will always say, you know, what age? And I'm like, you could teach this to a 5-year-old, and you can teach this to, you know, my mom is working with A circle every day.
Right.
And it's all the same, even if I teach it the exact same way.
Yeah. And
that's what's really nice, because then they just kind of take it and run with them, and they make them their own. And that's what's really nice.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm really excited. I want everybody who's on the live or who sees this, if you're interested to join Crissy's group, we've got a group for her, so she can start, you know, connecting with you and taking care of you. So if you're interested in more support for gymnasts, I want you to join her group. Like I said, we're going to do a Zoom video for moms. Dads, of course, can be on there too, but just for parents of gymnasts, we're going to give some great tips and strategies and tools to support you guys, so you can support your kids, what to say, what not to say, what to do, what not to do. And then we'll put her group at the bottom of this live, and then you guys can join her and talk to her and welcome her and support her, because she wants to support your kids. And that's what this is all about. I have been dying to get coaches to work with me, because I just want every athlete, every person to know A circle. I want them to know goal beyond the goal. I want everybody to be able to perform in their potential. Did you see, Crissy, you're the one who texted me the other night, right? The Dallas kicker.
The Dallas kicker. Yep.
He missed, did you say he missed like 5?
5 in a row. Yeah. Huge field goals in the playoffs.
And I could have fixed that.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in an arrogant way.
He was such a mess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so sad.
And actually, even Daniel said, Mommy, look at this kicker. He was watching it with Danny, and he said, Mommy, look at this kicker. Stacy could help him. You know, he's missed 5 in a row already.
I know. And I said, do you have his phone number?
Yeah.
But I can't tell you, you know, we've got Alex, who's really supporting, so connected with the baseball. We've got him locally connected here. We've got another appointment with a big organization on Friday. I'm really excited about that side of the business. We've got you and a couple other coaches starting to connect with more one-on-one coaching, and of course teams and things like that. But I couldn't be more excited to build this, to support more people, and just, you know, spread the word that this is available.
Right. All
right, Crissy, I'm going to put your information at the bottom of this. And like I said, everybody, if you have any questions, remember, I'm still coaching. You guys don't, you know, I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still going to be doing my 40 to 50 sessions a week. I just have more support and more help for you guys. If you need anything, of course, let me know. But we're here to support everybody.
Yep.
All right, Crissy, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you. We'll see you in your group.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.